Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Cockrell. Thanks for joining us. If you've driven by the Mall of America at night, you've probably noticed a bit of a different look to the illuminated multi-level parking ramp. That's because construction is officially underway on the replacement of 5,400 parking ramp lights with new LED fixtures. The yellowish glow is from the sodium fixtures being replaced. The soft white light are the LED lights. The project began in early September and will result in significant energy savings at Mall of America, cutting costs by nearly 2/3. A representative from the Mall of America says the LED fixtures will reduce light pollution and improve lighting performance in cold weather. The project will cost nearly $3 million, and more than 1/3 of that cost will be paid by energy-saving grants and rebates. This is just one example of how sustainability goals will be achieved in the South Loop District. To help put into perspective just how much energy will be saved, over the 20-year life of the fixtures, enough energy is saved to run Nickelodeon Universe for 6 years or power more than 11,000 homes for 1 year. Making roadways in Bloomington functional, easily accessible, and as safe as possible is something the city's engineering division takes very seriously, and there are times when the city calls for resident input to help ensure that concerns are being met and the city's goals are being accomplished. Traffic conditions in Bloomington neighborhoods is something the city closely monitors. If you are a resident concerned about traffic on your block, the city's traffic team might have a solution for you. Bloomington's Traffic Management Group is inviting residents to an open house on Monday, September 26th. Residents can stop by the Public Works Training Room anytime between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. to meet with staff and describe any traffic issues they might have. Whether it's speed, pedestrian crossing concerns, site obstructions, or anything else, staff will then help the resident determine the best solution or the next step to the problem, whether it's increased police enforcement, a radar speed trailer, neighborhood education, etc. If you would like more information on the city's traffic management programs, log on to the city's website and keyword search traffic. We brought you the news on a past episode of Bloomington Today of a nationwide DWI crackdown back in late August, running through Labor Day. In this 18-day crackdown, Minnesota law enforcement officials arrested 1,787 motorists, according to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. In the metro area, St. Paul police arrested 97 people, Roseville 34, and Bloomington came in third for DWI-related arrests with 32. The State Patrol made 326 arrests statewide in that 18-day enforcement period. The Department of Public Safety reports that enhanced DWI enforcement and education campaigns have been a factor in the continuing drop of alcohol-related deaths. The 131 deaths last year was the lowest annual fatality count on record. In Minnesota, 1 in 7 drivers has a DWI on record. City officials want your help to remove one invasive plant from a popular area park. Join Parks and Recreation staff on Saturday, October 8th from 9 a.m. to noon at Pond Dakota Mission Park for the city's annual buckthorn bust. Buckthorn is an invasive plant species that grows very quickly and can literally choke out native trees, shrubs, and other plants if not removed from an infested wooded area. Parks and Recreation staff ask that volunteers wear sturdy shoes, jeans, long-sleeve shirts, and eye protection. Some cutting and removal tools will be available to volunteers, but staff ask that if you own a bow saw, handsaw, or shears, please bring them. Water and snacks will be provided for volunteers. The group will meet at the Pond House on the south side of the park prior to the 9 a.m. start time. Interested residents are asked to log on to the city's website. Head to the Parks and Recreation Division page under Parks and Leisure. There you can fill out a volunteer application. Or if you don't have access to a computer, call staff at 952-563 8877 for more details. Well, it's now time for a short break. When we come back, we'll be joined by a MnDOT representative to discuss a huge interchange project that is currently underway and ease some discomfort about one aspect of the reconstruction, raising some concerns. Stay right here.
Don't walk. Don't walk. Walk. Do not enter. Hot dogs. Definitely like hot dogs. Motorcycle club. Everything must go. Ghostly ghouls. Don't look at that, Teddy. Body piercing. Ouch.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
Sherry, can I help you?
No, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, and you're also standing on my mark.
No, I am getting ready to shoot a March of Dimes March for Babies public service announcement. Millions of volunteers, donors, and sponsors working to give every baby a healthy start.
We're still all about the babies, those born healthy and those that need our help to survive.
One day, all babies will be born healthy, but we have to walk to get there.
For more information, go to marchforbabies.org.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now joined by MnDOT Public Affairs Coordinator Bree McGee. Welcome, Bree. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, the odds are, if you live anywhere near Bloomington, you've come in contact with the 169 I-494 interchange project, and that is now in full swing. Why don't you give us a brief overview of exactly what the interchange will look like once construction is complete?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of changes going on right now, but when everything's all said and done, there will be a completely new frontage road system that is not connected to 169 anymore. It'll be there will be a frontage road system to the north and south, a ring road system connected by a new Washington Avenue bridge spanning 494, and that will be connected by that bridge and under 169 on both sides, so that local traffic can freely move around the interchange without actually having to get on to 169 or cross 169. In addition, we have already been working on reconstructing the northbound lanes of 169, and those will be completed this year. Next year we'll be reconstructing the southbound lanes of 169, just to make sure that we've got, the realignment is correct and we have room for some of the new ramps. There'll be 6 new connections between 169 and 494, freeway to freeway movements, and the frontage road system will also include roundabouts, which are a little different from Minnesota.
Wow, lots of changes. Why this particular interchange? I mean, what is the goal of this project?
Well, this particular interchange, we've already seen quite a bit of congestion, particularly when you look at some of the future projected traffic volumes along with the traffic signal operations of those 3 signals. There's one at Highwood Drive and then 2 at the 494 ramp terminals. Those paired with the congestion we already have and the future projections, we anticipate increased congestion if we hadn't done anything, and that in turn lessens safety as well.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, I'm sure it kind of, it's maybe a headache right now, but in the long run, it'll definitely be worth it.
Yes.
I've read now that the timeline for completion is slightly different than originally projected because of the state government shutdown in early July. Talk a bit about some of those changes, what it originally was and what we're looking at now.
Sure. Well, as of now, we're still on schedule for completion in November 2012. Some of the differences are that some of the work we were going to do this construction season will have to be done next construction season. For example, we were originally going to reconstruct the southbound lanes of Highway 169 this year, but now we will have to do that next spring. Additionally, we were going to be completing the ramp, the flyover ramp from westbound 494 to southbound 169, but it looks like that might not be completed entirely until next year as well. However, we do plan on having most of the frontage road system completed this year as planned, including the new Washington Avenue bridge spanning 494. So fortunately for us, the original construction staging was staged such that the 2011 season was a bit more aggressive than 2012. So we had a little bit more leeway, which was fortunate for us, so that we can do some of that next year and still plan on meeting that November 2012 opening date.
Wow, very, very cool then. What are some of the concerns you've come across? I'm sure MnDOT has received feedback, both good, bad, and indifferent. Talk about some of the concerns, specifically the ring road system.
Yes, well, some of the concerns, obviously, when it comes to construction, there's always concerns when people come across new traffic switches, like when we had to switch lanes, all traffic to the southbound lanes, that sort of thing. Just getting familiarized with the different traffic patterns that are temporary and the temporary road closures on the local frontage road system. That always takes some time getting used to. But luckily, a lot of the residents and businesses have been very good about keeping tabs on what's going on and keeping up to date, and they've done very well at navigating during the construction. One of the main things for, concerns for when the construction is completed is that frontage road, ring road system that you described. The roundabouts in particular are of a bit of concern to people who aren't familiar with using them. We're incorporating them in more and more Minnesota roadway designs, but relatively they're still new to a lot of Minnesotans.
Absolutely. Tell us the proper way to maneuver a roundabout. There is a way to go in and a way to come out that is the correct way.
Sure.
Walk us through that process.
Well, two of the main things that people should remember when approaching a roundabout is that traffic inside the circle, that traffic that's already inside the roundabout, has the right of way. So traffic that is approaching the roundabout needs to yield to any oncoming traffic. The other big piece to remember is that traffic always moves counterclockwise through the roundabout. So don't turn left in a roundabout because you'll run head on into some traffic. You'll always be going right. And fortunately, we do have signs that indicate that. We do have other things to help people realize which way they should be going. On this frontage road system, we have different kinds of roundabouts, multi-lane, two-lane, single lane. So, each one has those same basic principles. Yield to traffic in the circle, always travel counterclockwise, yield to any pedestrians. There are crosswalks at all of the entrances and exits, and so folks do need to yield to pedestrians if they're approaching the roundabout. Also, another thing we get a question about frequently is emergency vehicles, what to do if there's an ambulance or a fire truck or something like that coming through. You are never supposed to stop inside the roundabout. Exit as quickly as you can, take the first exit, and then pull over. Okay. So that's another thing.
That's a good, I never actually thought about that one, so that's a good piece to know. Well, kind of in response to some of these roundabout concerns, MnDOT has planned some educational events to help ease some of that discomfort. When can we look for those?
Yes, well, we plan on having a roundabout open house specifically for roundabouts on Saturday, October 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Braemar Golf Course in Edina. So that information that just got scheduled, so we'll be sending out information in this week's weekly Constant Contact email update and posting it on our project website as well. But it'll be just a great way for people to come learn how to drive a roundabout. We'll actually be having a simulation going with golf carts and miniature roundabouts in the parking lot so that people can kind of get a good visual for how to navigate through a roundabout, talk to different project staff about it, get different pieces of information, and really get familiarized, because that's the biggest thing. People are nervous a lot of times if they just they don't feel like they know how to navigate it. But if they do, it goes rather smoothly. So
absolutely. It's just kind of knowing what you're coming up to, I
being
suppose.
Prepared in advance.
Well, whether it's about roundabouts or any other questions, concerns with the interchange, MnDOT actually does have a weekly newsletter that comes out. Why don't you tell us a bit about how residents or people that travel in the area can always be in the loop about what's going on around the interchange project? Yes,
well, we have a project website through the MnDOT website, and it's pretty easy to find. You can either just Google 169 494, or if you go to MnDOT.gov on the homepage there There's a drop-down menu for major projects going on, and 169-494 is one of our major projects, so that is listed there, and that'll take you to the project website as well. The project website is updated on a weekly basis or more frequently as needed, anytime there's a new update or traffic impact change, that sort of thing. And then once a week, it usually comes out Thursdays or Fridays, we have a constant contact email that is distributed, a newsletter that people can sign up for through our project website. Towards the bottom of the page, there's a little icon to sign up for email updates, and that always gives a look ahead at the next week so that people know what's coming, where crews are going to be working, what type of work is being done, any traffic impacts associated with that work, etc.
And it's so helpful because it really does give you a play-by-play on what's happening that week.
Breaks it down quite thoroughly. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Well, we'd like to thank MnDOT Public Affairs Coordinator Bree McGee for being here with us today. If you'd like more information on the interchange system, you can log on to the city's website, keyword search 169-494, and that will take you to a direct link to MnDOT's website where you can find all the information we talked about today and more. It's now time for a short break. We'll be right back.
I'm Jeremy Call, and I made suction tires. Wait, what? Wait, I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire. I got the idea from an octopus because of the suction cups, and I don't know.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
Welcome back, everyone. Recently, Bloomington Today crews headed back to school. Well, not literally. We spent the day with area students learning a thing or two about Bloomington's history using anything but a history book. River Rendezvous is a living history festival held at Bloomington's popular Pond Dakota Mission Park. Real actors demonstrate the lifestyles of people living in the Minnesota River Valley in the 19th century. But before the event is open to the public, it's open to area students.
Each day we'll have about 1,400 kids out here from all around the metro area, and they will rotate around every 20 minutes to different stations. And so each class will get to see about 10 stations. They won't get to see everything that's out here. They can come back on the public day for that on Saturday. But they'll rotate around, and we give them a good mix of things, of different aspects of history that they'll get to see, like the fur trade, logging. We have logging history. Native American, trades and crafts, fun and games stations, all stuff that they'll just kind of rotate around and have experience a wide variety of different aspects of history.
School Days is a program designed for students grades 4th to 8th. Classes come for up to an entire school day, learning a variety of different trades, techniques, and jobs carried by the people living here centuries ago.
When you're out here, you're seeing people in authentic costume. You're seeing the actual artifacts, the historic items that would have been used by all manner of different people, fur traders, Native Americans. We have a lot of stations dealing with early trades and crafts like woodworkers and blacksmiths and things. So just seeing that stuff firsthand in use, you can really get a good picture of kind of what it was like to not only to make items but also to use them. And they're out there using all these tools that were used 150 years ago. And so just kind of seeing that firsthand is really kind of what it's all about.
Crowds of kids gathered at each of the exhibits, and with more than 50 in total, displaying different skills, occupations, games, and crafts, there never seemed to be a dull moment for students. Bloomington Parks and Recreation staff hope that this Living History Festival brings a sense of understanding to the younger generation while getting them out of the classroom for a few hours.
If some of them go away wanting to learn more about their history and they go off and do that, then it's, mission accomplished. And then plus teaching the history of Bloomington and Minnesota is just a good thing for students, and it's something that's part of their curriculum in schools as it is anyway.
River Rendezvous registration for School Days 2012 begins in April. Log on to the city's website, keyword search River, and reserve your class early. Public Day is Saturday, September 24th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The cost is $6 per person. The 10-year anniversary of 9/11 just passed, and many residents may not be aware that one of the many heroes who lost their lives that tragic day is a Bloomington native.
If that had struck the Capitol, I know hundreds if not thousands more innocent people would have been killed, maimed for life. Hundreds if not thousands more, Tom Burnett Jr. saved those lives. He gave his own, an act of incredible courage under the greatest duress. I mean, it's unimaginable what they were experiencing in that moment. He stood up, led the charge, and saved more lives on that day than any other single person in this country or this world.
Hundreds gathered on September 11th to pay tribute to a true Bloomington hero. Tom Burnett Jr. passed away on 9/11 10 years ago when he and several other passengers took control of Flight 93 from terrorists and crashed into a Pennsylvania field. Hundreds gathered at the first annual Tom Burnett Jr. Hometown Hero Ceremony to hear patriotic music,
and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
recognize other hometown heroes, raise money for the Bloomington Crime Prevention Association, and ultimately try to focus on the heroism displayed on 9/11 rather than the horror inflicted on this country.
Everyone knows someone who is somewhat, somehow affected by 9/11. Of course, no one knows better than the people in this room and the Burnett family. But the fact that everyone knows someone has helped to preserve the basic humanity of those who died on 9/11 and prevents them from just becoming a big number and an abstraction. It's often said that memorials are not really for the dead, but for the living, and when we remember dates like this 10 years later, it is for the living. It is an occasion to reaffirm life, the life of the one who is gone, and the value of life itself for all of us.
In honoring Tom Burnett Jr., recognizing other community champions, and raising funds to support public safety, hopefully the Hometown Heroes celebration will continue beyond this premier event for years to come. This is the first annual Tom Burnett Jr. Hometown Heroes celebration. If you are an individual or organization looking to get involved with next year's event, visit their website at www.tomburnetthometownheroes.org. And the City of Bloomington would like to remind residents that just because fall is in the air, that doesn't mean local growers are no longer producing fresh fruits and vegetables. The City Farmers Market still has another month left. Stop out to the east parking lot of Civic Plaza every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. This time of year, fresh herbs like cilantro and parsley are in their full glory. It's been a tough season for growers with the wet spring, exceedingly hot summer, and now an early freeze this fall. Residents are encouraged to come out and show support to local farmers. The outdoor markets at Civic Plaza continue through Saturday, October 15th, and there will be 2 indoor markets offered on November 12th and December 10th. We'll provide details about those as they grow nearer. And that's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. To check out past Bloomington Today shows or other city productions, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't your thing, Sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent right to your email or cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockerill. Thanks so much for joining us.